We are live here, heat number 1. We are about to get underway here. It is going to be an interesting one here. We have 20 teams on the floor. In lane number 1, we got Thrusty 3. In lane number 2, Florida Man. In lane 3, we got Young, Dumb, and Unbroken. Lane 4, Ed, and Eddie. Lane 5, Buck Furpies. Lane 6, Fricky, Ford, and the Boxburg Bombers. Lane number 7, Time to Commit. Lane number 8, Team on the Move. Lane 9, Tiger Fit. Lane 10, Amino Disrespect. Lane 11, The Finkles. Lane 12, MCC Team LBD. Lane 13, MCC Beefcake Factory. Lane number 14, Tiger Fit, 2 Jaegers and a Gin. Lane 15, Buns and Guns. Lane 16, Tiger Fit MAD. Lane 17, Tiger Valley Sea Sisters. Lane number 8, Joe Burgers. Lane number 9, Boys in the Wad. Lane 20, the Eric Munch Center for athletes who can't squat. Right, we're going to run through the workout. It is a 15-minute time cap. There will be 60 unbroken single skips, 60 pull-ups, 60 shoulder to overhead. For the men, it's 70 kgs. For the ladies, it's 50. Then 60 unbroken dubs, 45 chest to bar, and then 45 shoulder to overhead. Then we go 60 unbroken single crossovers to 30 bar muscle-ups, and then 30 shoulders to overhead. Any trip on the skipping will result in a change of partner and restart from 0. Every time you stop doing pull-ups or shoulders to overhead, you must change partners. You will not start from 0 on these movements. So it's only the skipping where if you make a mistake, you start from 0. This could be costly for a lot of athletes if they are in the lead and then all of a sudden they slip up. Say now they're on 59 reps and they slip up, they will have to go back to 0. And like I said, 20 teams on the floor. So a lot of chaos is about to unfold here on your screens. We're going to do our best to cover it all. Hey! 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 Hope you guys joined us in that one on your couches. All right, event number 6. Risk and reward. While we're at it, just make sure you jump over to that little thumbs up, hit that button for us, the like button. 10 seconds before we get this bad boy underway. I'm excited for this one. I like this sort of work. Any shoulder to overhead workouts, I'm like, yes, let's go. And the best part is when it's a little bit heavier, 70 kg is not too bad, but I think with the rep range, that stimulus is going to be quite hard on the shoulders, and then having to go into a pull-up, a chest to bar, and a muscle-up, you're going to see a lot of fatigue, and it's going to be a very, very exciting one. So the athletes in the front, they will all move to the first platform. Athletes at the back will move to the second platform. And off we go. Let the chaos unfold. And remember, they will do 60 singles if anyone slips up here. And remember, a lot of the athletes aren't used to these. And remember, there has to be a changeover. So if you make a mistake, you have to change over. A lot of athletes aren't used to the singles. There's been so much practicing with those double unders that most athletes prefer double unders nowadays than to the singles. And we see a lot of the teams already into those pull-ups. Remember, with a pull-up, you just need to get your chin above that bar, and that's a good rep. And a lot of athletes also, they'll be so used to that chest to bar that they'll actually do chest to bar. You'll see a couple of athletes there on the bars. They're already doing chest to bar, but they don't need to. But it still counts as a rep, so it's okay. But a lot of the elite athletes, and you can see some great cycling there on the bar. And it looks like some big sets here from the athletes as well. So remember, the first part of this workout is 60 unbroken single skips, 60 pull-ups, and then 60 shoulder to overhead at 70 kgs and 50 kgs. And that was an absolute monster set. I'm not too sure what lane that is. I'm not too sure how they've assigned the lanes. I think it is lane 7. I think. Let's just double check here. Time to commit. I think I am correct. Time to commit. Put in a massive set. It looks like Ed and Eddie might be our leaders here. Ed and Eddie are our leaders at the moment. Our ladies, it looks like the leaders are in lane 3, Young, Dumb and Unbroken. The Finkel's not too far behind them. But it looks like the Finkels are putting in a bigger set at the moment, so they might have just snuck into the lead. Athletes need to show a clear lockout. See, I've seen 1 or 2 no reps here already, not getting that lockout. And remember, you need to straighten those legs. A lot of athletes are catching in a bent leg position, but they're not standing up with the bar, and then they're getting no rep for that. Lots of moving parts here. Athletes asking what are they on, reps. They're still on the first part of this workout. They got 60 shoulder to overhead. Then they're going to move to the double unders. It'll be 60 double unders. Remember, it has to be unbroken. If they fail, they will have to change over the person who is on the rope. And we've got some scaled teams doing renegade rows already. Remember, there is a scaled version, so athletes who cannot do the pull-ups or the chest to bars, they will do a scaled version. And remember, they have that option for just a workout, so they don't have to enter the scaled division. They can enter the workout at a scaled division. As it looks like the ladies, the Finkels, as well as Young, Dumb and Unbroken. Those are your current lady leaders. The men, Ed and Eddie. And then it looks like lane 18, Joe Burgers. Joe Burgers are currently in second. But this is where the problem comes in now. If there is a stoppage, they will start from 0. Ed and Eddie, as well as Joe Burgers, are the current leaders. Remember, they got chest to bar now, so we're looking for a clear touch of the chest on the bar. It's 45 reps that these ladies and men will be completing. And then they'll move to 45 shoulders to overhead. Lots and lots of volume. Big, big workouts. And time to commit. And team on the move. Battling it out once again. See a couple of athletes still on the chest to bar, but a lot of the athletes back onto that barbell. And there's still a nice little battle here between the Finkles as well as Young, Dumb, and Unbroken. Waiting to see who will be that first team to go onto those crossovers. Remember, it's only a single crossover. And it looks like it is, I think that's Ed, and Eddie. Sorry, it's Team on the Move. Team on the Move are on the single crossovers. Team on the Move currently, single crossovers. They are done. They're moving up to the bar muscle ups now. They are clear leaders at the moment. Haven't seen anyone. Some teams still hard stuck on those double unders. It looks like our team there, Joe Burgers in 18, lane 18. They are currently in second, but a massive, massive healthy lead at the moment. Our team on the move in lane number 8. Team on the move in lane 8. Look like they might be taking the first heat. As I say that, the team right next to them, I've missed them. It is time to commit in lane 7. They are actually right there, neck and neck at this point. Remember, they got those 30 bar muscle ups to get through and then 30 shoulder to overhead. It's going to come down to those 30 to shoulder to overheads. As it looks like the Finkles as well as Young, Dumb, and Unbroken, they are still neck and neck. And man, this is an awesome little one here that we have at Fitchella at the moment. Time to commit as well as Team on the Move. And then Young, Dumb, and Unbroken and the Finkles, they are battling it out in the ladies division here. And Team on the Move, they the first to the bar, the barbell. We're waiting to see if Time to Commit will be able to catch them in. Team on the Move. Team on the move, swap out. Four minutes left here. We've got to keep a close eye on Young, Dumb and Unbroken, as well as the Finkles as well. Not too sure what the reps are there at the moment, but it looks to me like they are neck and neck, that it's going to be very, very close. Here comes time to commit. They on their first rep now, but massive, massive sets being put out here for Team on the Move, and they get it. Team on the Move, they set the time to beat, and the Finkles are leading at the moment. They are on the bar now. As we look at the Finkles, they swap out. You can see the lady there in the orange shorts there. Those are our current female leaders. And then just at the bottom of your screen, we have Young, Dumb, and Unbroken. They're probably about 5 reps behind. It's going to come down to those big, big sets. Are the Finkles able to hang on to this one to get the heat win? Yeah. At the moment, she is battling it out. Not too sure which Finkel that is, but she is battling it out. But Young, Dumb, and Unbroken, they are looking to try maybe sneak a heat win here. With 2:34 left on the clock. Keep an eye on those two ladies. The bottom of your screen just in front of the pole, and then at the back there with the pink shorts. She's been putting in a massive, massive set here. And she's changing out now. And actually, that's them done and dusted. They win this one. The Finkles get the heat win. And it looks like Young, Dumb, and Unbroken will take that second spot in this heat for the females. Very close there to those double unders. She just puts 1 rep in. And they are done, Young, Dumb, and Unbroken. And man, what a little race that was between those two teams, as well as time to commit and Team on the Move. 90 seconds remaining for the athletes to get through the work. And we saw a lot of athletes get hard stuck on those double unders, and then now they got those single crossovers. A couple of athletes again getting hard stuck there. Remember, they have to go unbroken. If they miss one, they have to change out the athletes and restart from 0. Have anyone of you in the chat, have you guys tried those single crossovers? Can any of you do them? Let me know in the chat, in the comment section. And 30 seconds remaining for these athletes. Last workout for these athletes to try to break into that top 5. Remember, only the top 5 male teams, top 5 female teams will find themselves in that final. And I must find out from Ty, is it winner take all, or do the points accumulate into that final? Not 100% sure, so I'll have to ask Ty on that one. But man, what an event this one was. And that's it for heat number 1. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Next up is heat number 2.
Ambition is movement. Your best is found beyond the limits you set for yourself.
One more.
Boundaries are nothing when you unleash on the world what you see in yourself.
Right, we are back here for heat number 2. Heat number 2 got really loud there. Jeez, like heat number 2, lane number 1, Unboxed Alpha. Lane number 2, Powerpuff Girls. Lane 3, Charlie's Angels. Lane 4, Good Vibes and Muscle Thighs. I'm actually just going to wait for these MCs to calm down. Apparently we have one of the celebrities in the house. They were supposed to join us yesterday, but no one showed up. I'm assuming I'm going to have to have him in here a little bit later. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on with this. It seems like he's going to be talking forever, so we shall carry on. We have in lane number 3, Charlie's Angels. Lane number 4, Good Vibes and Muscle Thighs. Lane number 5, we have two-thirds Kosher. Lane number 6, Reverse Oreo. Lane 7, CrossFit Tiger Valley MIA. Lane number 8, Team Represent. Lane number 9, CrossFit Juggernaut Unstoppable. Lane number 10, Barbell Besties. Lane number 11, Three's a Crowd. Lane number 12, The Bald and the Beautiful. Lane 13, Plate Breakers. Lane 14, 3 Musketeers. Lane 15, Iron Maidens. Lane 16, Wad Woman. Lane 17, Run DMC. Lane 18, Tri-Fit Titans. Lane 19, Hell's Kitchen. Lane 20, Unboxed ACD. And once again, I'll do my best to try keep track of who's who in the zoo right now. It is some serious chaos out there with 20 teams on the floor. If you've just tuned in, welcome. You're watching an It's Happening production. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And then, of course, most importantly is that bell notification so you know exactly when we go live, and especially with the final coming on a little bit later today. Right, so this workout, 15 minutes you have, and that is the time cap. You'll do 60 unbroken single skips, 60 pull-ups, 60 shoulder to overhead. It'll be 70 kgs for the men, 50 kgs for the ladies, and then you go to 60 unbroken double unders, 45 chest to bar, 45 shoulder to overhead, and then finally 60 unbroken single crossovers, 30 bar muscle ups, 30 shoulder to overhead. However, if any athlete trips up on the skipping rope, that will result in a change of partner. They have to change partners and restart at 0. And we saw a lot of athletes in the previous heat get hard stuck on those double unders. We saw a couple of athletes fall short on the single skips, and a lot of athletes not used to that single skip. They find double unders a little bit easier than the singles, because that's pretty much what we practice all the time. It's become the stock standard of CrossFit is double unders. So for athletes now to do singles, it becomes a little bit more difficult. And then, of course, we have those crossovers. But from what I saw, we didn't have too many teams actually struggle with those crossovers. So I don't think that's going to be causing too much of an issue. It's definitely seems to have been the double unders and the singles that caused the issues in the previous heat. And the vibe picking up here a little bit at Fitchella. And like I said earlier on, it has been an absolute beautiful day here. The weather now is almost perfect, a little bit of a cooler wind, so these athletes aren't dying too much of heat here, but it is still fairly hot on the competition floor. looking forward to see what heat number 2 does. I'm a fat kid, okay? Sorry if you guys heard that back. I didn't realize I was still holding the mic. I was digging up some pretzels there out of the bag. All right, and off we go here. We have a DJ. I'm assuming one of the celebrities, as I mentioned. Our MC now also has become a bit more lively. And like I mentioned before, we've seen a lot of the athletes struggle with the singles, but this heat here, it looks like only one team slipped up so far. Every other team, they are all on those pull-ups now. They got 60 pull-ups. See some interesting techniques. Remember, you just have to get your chin over the bar, and that counts as the pull-up. And in the previous heat, we saw some guys just going with the butterfly and doing full-on chest to bar. And you actually want to try, especially with a workout like this, you actually want to try and learn to shorten that kip, just so you can get that cadence moving, so a little bit faster. You find a lot of the guys are so used to doing those long kipping movements, which actually makes them struggle a little bit in terms of cadence and speed on the bar. And also what you want to learn when you get to the top of the bar is learn to almost relax. So you're holding tight obviously on the bar, but you want to just drop down. You don't actually want to be controlling your way down. You just want to drop down. And I see a lot of athletes controlling their way down, which is also slowing their movements. See a couple of athletes doing the scaled version here as well. And once again, look at that. It is the Juggernaut team that are leading the way right now. That is lane number 9, CrossFit Juggernaut. CrossFit Juggernaut looking really, really strong. And then, of course, we got our ladies out there who are leading right now. And that's Dina Swift out there. That is Tri-Fit Titans. And then out in lane number 20, lane 20 is Unboxed ACD. They are chasing up close behind them. But at the moment, the top 2 teams, or the top number 1 teams in the men and the ladies, Tri-Fit Titans for the ladies. Sorry, actually, Team Juggernaut, they are actually in second overall at the moment. Sorry, I do apologize. They are second at the moment, but they are leading right now. Remember, they got 70 kgs on the bar for the men, 50 kgs for the ladies. And it's also interesting to see how athletes approach this. Do they go with a wider grip, or do they go with a more narrow grip? And honestly, it comes down to that flexibility and preference. I don't think there would be much of a difference. Juggernaut now, they're on those double unders. Remember, if they slip up on the double unders, they'll have to change athletes and start from 0. But that's only if they slip up here. Tri-Fit Titans, they are doing exceptionally well here. They only got a couple of more reps on the bar. Just behind them, we got ACD unboxed. Interesting to see some of these athletes also, they're really slowing it down. They're not pressing too hard, which I find very interesting. You're thinking in something like this where there's only 15 minutes, they're going to want to push a little bit harder, but we're not really seeing that. Tri-Fit Titans, still our leading ladies. Juggernauts, unstoppable. They're on the bar already. Got their chest to bars going. Tri-Fit now, not too far behind them. And they're sitting second overall in this workout at this point. You see some of the scaled ladies there. They are the scaled teams doing some renegade rows. You can see just in the background there, we got our leading ladies. You'll see them doing their chest to bar in the back. And Juggernauts done and dusted. They're on 45 shoulders to overhead now. And you can see there, great technique. As he's bringing that bar down, he bends the knees, gets that recoil, bounces that bar off the shoulders and right back. He's not really controlling the weight down. That also slows you down a lot. So CrossFit Juggernaut right now, they're the team to beat here in this heat. Second overall, but if they can get another win under their belt, they might just move into that first place position. We just need to chat to Ty. We need to find out, do the points carry over, or is it winner takes all in that final later on? And all these teams, they want to make sure that they don't make any mistakes. If they make a mistake, they start from zero. Juggernauts on those crossovers. Remember, it's only a single crossover, so it's a little bit easier. As I say that, makes a mistake, he actually has to change out. He's not allowed starting again. They have to change out. They're not allowed. They have to change out. Big confusion there. They have to change out. And there we go. Finally, they understand that they have to change out. And it is in the rules. It's definitely, I have it right in front of me. So not too sure why they're arguing too much, but it is, and it was definitely explained as well. So Juggernauts there costing themselves some time, but they have more than enough time on the rest of the male field. While meantime, we have our ladies out there, Tri-Fit Titans. They are absolutely dominating the ladies field at this point. They're the only ladies team on those crossovers. And they're already done. They're moving to those muscle ups. They're the only team on the muscle ups right now. As I say that, here come the Juggernauts. They now back onto the bar. So the only competition for the Juggernauts right now are the ladies team, and that is the Tri-Fit Titans. And Tri-Fit Titans are showing what they are made of here. They are an absolute powerhouse of a team. It's going to be a tough team to beat if it's a winners take all in that final. Jenna, if you tuned in on time, I wouldn't have to go over the workout. So the workout is 60 unbroken single skips, 60 pull-ups, 60 shoulder to overhead. The weight for the men is 70 kgs. The weight for the ladies is 50 kgs. Then you go to 60 unbroken double unders, 45 chest to bar, 45 shoulder to overhead, 60 unbroken single crossovers, 30 bar muscle ups, 30 shoulder to overhead. If you mess up on the skips, any of the skips, you will start from zero and you have to change out your partner. You cannot carry on. So if you make the mistake, you need to hand over the rope to someone else. And it looks like Juggernaut as all are now back in the lead, the overall lead. They took the lead from the ladies team, Fit. And they just need to complete these final 30 shoulders to overhead. Once they get that 30, they can pretty much seal themselves into that final later on today. Dina, as well as the Juggernaut team, they now at it. Fit are probably about 4 or 5 reps behind, but Fit are cycling that bar a lot faster at this point. It's going to be a close finish between these two. The two competing sides at the moment are the ladies and the men's teams. And it looks like the men's team here, the Juggernaut side, will finish first. And man, that is going to be a tough time to beat. They still have about 4 minutes, 10 seconds on that clock. So just remember, 4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining on that clock. Will any other male team be able to beat that? And then our ladies, it looks like they're going to finish up soon. And off they go. They are done and dusted. So that Fit team, that is going to be a hard team to beat in that final. And that Juggernaut side, I think they might have, if they get another first here, they might just find themselves in first position over Brozillas, who I think they'll be in the next heat. So let's keep an eye on that. See a couple of teams still struggling on the double unders. Got some teams on the crossovers. 3 minutes left. Those crossovers, looks like some people really struggling with the crossovers. Remember, if you make a mistake with a crossover, you got to swap out. Well, any of the skips, to be honest. Seeing so much frustration out on the floor. Athletes just not getting that crossover. One guy just chucks his rope there. He's not happy. .217 on the clock. Linda Kruger says, go, good vibes, go. I see some athletes also getting no rep on those shoulders to overhead. Remember, there has to be a lockout of the knees with the bar obviously above your head. A lot of athletes are not locking out and then they get no rep. You see some ladies here with the crossovers now. Some of the men. Our athlete here in lane number 1 from Unboxed Alpha. Looks like he's finally got the hang of these crossovers. He's getting a nice little rhythm there. And they look like they are done. And it took a little bit of time because they were there quite early on and then they just couldn't get the rhythm of that crossover, but finally they did. You can see a lot of athletes still on the double unders though. I think the worst feeling you could ever have is you hit 59 and then you mess up. I think he was very close there because the man in the blue shirt there, he was looked like he was very close to hitting 60. Final 30 seconds for our team here. And remember, we do have some of the top teams coming in this next heat. It's going to be very, very interesting. Those, especially with the female and the male sides, that top 5 still quite viable for a lot of these teams. And time it is here. Man, there was some serious frustration. But don't go anywhere. Next up, we have heat number 3. We're going to jump into some ads. We'll catch up with you shortly. All right, we are back here at Fitchella in Camps Bay, and man, it has been so awesome here. I hope you guys have been enjoying the stream as much as the whole entire production team and myself. We've been enjoying it thoroughly here. Heat number 3 about to kick off. In lane number 1, we got CrossFit Musty Rise. Lane 2, the Bench Warmers. Lane number 3, the Buccaneers. Lane 4, Spice Girls. Lane number 5, Dumbbells and Donuts. Lane number 6, Love Triangle. Lane 7, Epic Dads. Lane number 8, MCC Waldo Sandwich. Lane number 9, Afat's Angels. Lane number 10, Mark the Joel Fall. Lane number 11, M&M's. Lane number 12, the Unboxed Midgets. Lane number 13, Barbies. Lane number 14, Lost in the Wads. Lane 15, Triple Threat Triad. Lane 16, Out of Our Way. Lane 17, MCC Brozillas. They are currently our leaders overall for the male division. Lane 18, Here for the Jaw. Lane number 19, 2.5 Men. And lane 20, Diamond Dogs. And as we get this underway, we're going to go through the workout once again, in case Gemma missed it. Jenna is one of our athletes there at Wicco Fitness and Rude Fitness. 15 minutes is the time cap. You have 60 unbroken single skips, 60 pull-ups, 60 shoulder to overhead. The weights are 70 and 50. Then you move into 60 unbroken double unders. That is 45 chest to bar and then 45 shoulder to overhead. Then 60 unbroken single crossovers, 30 bar muscle ups, 30 shoulder to overhead. If at any time you slip up on the skipping, doesn't matter which skip it is, you will have to start from 0 and change over your partner. You cannot carry on, so you cannot restart. You have to swap out your partner. There was a huge mix-up there with Juggernaut in the previous heat, and it might have cost him a bit of time, and especially with guys like Brozilla. And then, of course, we got some really interesting news here. It looked like Octave Fitness have moved their way into that 5th place position. So there's a lot on the line at the moment in terms of where we are. Here are the leaderboards. We have first place MCC Brozillas. Second is Team on the Move. Lane in third is CrossFit Juggernaut Unstoppable. So they've actually moved down. So they might just find themselves in that second spot again after this workout. We'll have to have a look at that. Fourth is Time to Commit. And then fifth, Octave Fitness. They have bumped out a bunch of teams to move into that critical 5th place position for the final. We're going to looks like lane 16 over there. Lane 16 out of our way, I think it is. Sorry, that's lane 17. That is Brozillas. So Brozillas are currently leading, and they are the number 1 in this overall position at the moment. All right, and we're waiting for our ladies teams at the moment. I haven't seen any. There's one ladies team, and we got our female leaders up next. Female leaders, we have in first place, of course, Tri-Fit Titans. They have been absolutely dominant at the moment. In second, we have Amino Disrespect. In third, Unboxed ACD. In fourth, Young, Dumb, and Unbroken. They did exceptionally well in the previous workout as well. And then hanging on to 5th right now is the Finkles. And they also had a great performance in the previous heat, which might just give them a little boost in that top 5 position. And we have Cole with us here. So we have Cole with us here. Cole, how are you, and what are your thoughts about Fitchella so far here at Camps Bay?
First and foremost, can I just tell you that Camps Bay is beautiful, number 1. I can't believe that people are actually working out. You want to stop and you want to look at the view, but at the same time, if I'm looking at all of the workouts, the programming as well, I think it's designed to make sure that the view is beautiful enough to stop the beautiful muscle fibrils that are like breaking as you do your exercise, you know, from sort of like, it's a good balance if you ask me. But honestly, I think it's Fitchella as a concept, as an event has been going so well. Being here, this is the first time that I've experienced this type of sort of interaction. I mean, it is so, so cool. And also the team names. You know, there's a team competing now by the name of Love Triangle.
Well, don't worry. Wait until you see, what is it, Millie Boys or Millie Mana. I can't remember what it's called. They got one of the longest names here. Yes. So I'll get you to try pronounce that in the next heats. We'll see how you do with that. And then, of course, what are your thoughts at the moment? We have one of the teams here, Tri-Fit Titans, one of the lady teams, but they are actually throwing down with some of the men. And that's a cool concept that Ty's brought here, is that you have these the males and the females competing on the same floor. And sometimes those female teams are giving the men a run for their money.
I think when it comes to the community itself, I mean, at my gym, I actually train with the ladies, you know, because they're real grit and their stamina and their cardio and the way they lift and the way they push themselves. I like that culture of fitness, which means I'm actually, most of the time, I'm in the corner with most of the female athletes in my gym because of that grit. There's something more, I think what I love about it is that this particular space over here, you're free, you know, and you can do exactly what you want to do, and you can hit the limits that you want to hit. And I think that's why it's not surprising to note that these, you know, ladies are competing and they are doing it properly as well. Because honestly, if you want to get something done, just give it to one of these female athletes and they'll sort you out. Simple.
I have to agree with you 100%. And in the comments here, we have Andre Snowman says, "Kom Driekus, kom, maak die ding wat spring van pa." So always love the comments here in the YouTube feed as well. And then in terms of, do you know anyone here on the floor? Is there any team that you are supporting?
I can't support a team. I'm in a neutral capacity. I will tell you that in the Diamond Dogs, my coach is part of the Diamond Dogs. His name is Barry Conradi, and honestly, that dude really, he changed my life, to be fair. You know, when I started the CrossFit journey about a year ago, I was in a very, very sort of slumpy type of stage in my life. And I think the best advice was just keep moving. You know, go at your own pace, but as long as you keep moving. And that's what got me up in the morning. And I kept on going and going and going. I started off my journey, I was 75 kilos. I'm now at 63. And you know, we hold each other accountable with regard to all of the workouts. I'm held accountable for the way I do my progress as well. So yes, I do have a connection to Barry, but I'm nice and neutral. I mean, if I look at anybody that is pushing beyond their limits and going to the dark place, we all know the dark place, but it's just continuing. I think those are the type of athletes that I think just deserve to be in this type of space. I mean, I know there's a lot of crowds, a lot of hype, MCs and a microphone, there's a lot of things to block out, but I think every athlete over here is doing something absolutely incredible, and that is looking at their limits and saying, nope, that's not enough, and pushing beyond.
Yeah, I have to agree with you 100% there, but it's good to know that there's someone you know in Diamond Dogs. They're out there in lane number 20, far side of the field. So if you're watching right now, give a little shout out there to Diamond Dogs. We know they are a bit of a favorite in the YouTube comments as well. Oh. Yeah, there you go. And but at the moment, Brozilla, they are still our leaders at the moment here on the field. Those are the big guys on that end of the field there. And they are looking like they are going to take another possibly heat win here. Have you seen these guys before? What time did you actually get here today?
I got you at about 1 o'clock, so I've been watching, some of these heats go through. But when I saw Brozilla, I can understand. If I actually look at these gents over here, they give protein the shakes. Like they are massive guys. And I mean, honestly, if I look at the one of the athletes now busy with the crossovers, I mean, you can just tell, that this is, if they could have an 8th day to go to gym, they'll actually add one to a week. Goodness. But all these teams, every one of them, I think that's the great thing about RX athletes, a great thing about scaling. I think the way you push, if you've given it you all, you've given 100%, and 100% stays 100%. So if somebody next to you, their 100% is 150 kilograms, they're giving 100. If yours is 40 kilograms, you're giving 100. And I think that's the beautiful thing about CrossFit, is that your 100 is the same as somebody else's 100, as long as you're not, sitting down and saying that you can't. Like, you got to keep moving toward that. But yes, to look back at Brozilla, I am a bit intimidated as I'm in this little commentary post over here. I look at them and I think, sure, I now understand why statues looked like that in Greece all that time ago. But it's okay, because I think there are some people who are willing to give them a run.
100%. And we know at the moment we have Time to Commit, as well as CrossFit Juggernaut. They are busy pushing that number 1 spot at the moment. And of course, we have those underdogs. No one really gave them a chance. They're unaffiliated. They're not with a CrossFit box. That's Octave Fitness. And they're currently holding on to that 5th spot at the moment. So we'll see what happens here. But it looks like CrossFit... no, sorry, I'm completely getting confused here. Brozillas are going to walk away with this one. I don't see anyone else on those muscle ups at the moment. I haven't seen anyone on the crossovers at all. So it looks like they have a healthy lead. Oh, there is a team there.
There is a team. Sorry, I do see another team. I told you, they are going to give Brozilla a run. There we go. But I do see the muscle ups. That's the thing about a muscle up, is that it's a movement that is, it takes you to a place. It really does. And that's not just over the bar. It's almost over the top. But I do see somebody else is on their muscle ups and as they go. But I do know Brozilla got there first. Good for them. But I'm always here for an underdog.
I have to agree with you. I'm the same. So it's that team you actually mentioned earlier on, Love Triangle. They are currently sitting in second place. So Love Triangle in second. But we look at Brozilla. They're moving to their final shoulders to overhead now. And it looks like they're going to walk away with this one. But do you think Love Triangle, just looking at their body language right now, do you think they'll hold on to that second place?
I do think they can hold on to the second place. I will say they are a bit staggery on their muscle ups as well. I can see the fatigue is setting in. If anybody is going to grab them, I think they just have to get started now. But I believe that they will take second place in this particular heat. But Brozilla, just outstanding. Their speed, if you look at the fluency of their motion as well, and going on to that shoulder to overhead, it really looks like they're lifting a bar with no weight on it, which is unfair to other athletes, but it's okay. But you know what? All the best to our Love Triangle. We believe in you. We love you, of course. Take that second place.
And of course, we got our Lions Bay ladies out there as well. The Spice Girls in the pink. See them on those shoulders to overhead. I would say they're probably the second smallest team. Of course, we got Unboxed Midgets. That's not me being mean at all. That's what they call themselves. But they are definitely the smallest team here. And they've been putting up a big fight here, actually, the Unboxed Midgets. Really the smallest team. And they've got to do a 50 kg lift, which is pretty much, I would say, just as much as they weigh.
You know what? As an athlete that is a bit shorter, when I say a bit, you know what I mean. Okay, I'm 1.53 meters. I'm not like the taller guys. They always say, oh, you know what? When it comes to the muscle movements, you are having to, you lock out with a lot less, you know, which is fine. And I get it. But you realize that when a tall person rows and a short person rows, they row and they're already a kilometer away. I row and I'm literally 2 meters. Then that's the toughest thing in the entire world. But what I know about shorter athletes is that center of gravity, that ability to, you know, have limbs that are a bit shorter, it means you can access your core faster and also your big muscles like your quads faster than, I think, a taller athlete, which tells you that biomechanically, I think shorter athletes, you know, we should be able to push a little bit more. But you know what? It's a literal game of fatigue as well, because as much as we can do that, fatigue sets in so much faster. But you know, that's why the grit is there. This is why Frodo took the ring to Mordor. He was able to go through that. That was the wad of the century. That was J.R.R. Tolkien's wad. And Frodo did that. Did you not see them climb up the mountain? And Samwise Gamgee, you also came through. I mean, those are short athletes, but they made it there. They threw that ring into Mount Doom, and they saved Middle-earth. Come on.
That was a serious metaphor there, but yes, sir. And in the comment section here, we got Kirsty Rostron. She says, let's go Chester from Diamond Dogs. Pods by Tam here for Diamond Dogs. Jester Cox says, let's go Musty Rise. And then Sarah Price Lewis, the smiley of PE as well, is let's go Spice Girls. And it looks like our team out there, Love Triangle, did finish out in second. So first place goes to the big men, Brozillas. And then second place goes to the Love Triangle. I haven't seen any other teams finish up just yet. And I'm really struggling at the moment to just see which ladies team is in the lead. It looks like the Unboxed. Is it the Unboxed Midget? No.
Eminem's currently leading the ladies section.
And there you have it, Eminem, the ladies there, they are currently leading. And then, Cole, do you think we're ever going to see you on the competition floor?
Oh, yes, indeed. You know what? I think any sort of competition, you know, when I started out with CrossFit, immediately it was the games, and I was like, okay, fine, let's give it a shot, right? The open came through, and my entire box is telling me like, no, just do it, man, it's fun, you know, it'll be fun, they said. But what I loved about it is that I pushed myself beyond any sort of normal workout, and I would love to do that again. So I'm hoping that I will get a team next year together. I'll ask Barry from Diamond Dogs, maybe he can add me to his team. But I think they just finished up actually the Diamond Dogs, just as I was having a conversation about him. Maybe he'll add me to his team, I don't know. Otherwise, if Unboxed Midgets have a gap on your team, there is another midget that could actually help you get the win. I'm just letting you know, only if you want to, all right? Any of those teams. Love Triangle, you all caught up already, I know, but let's go.
All right, next up, we are going to jump into heat number 4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you shortly. right, so before we carry on with this one, we have the final here that's just been released. The top 5 men, top 5 women will do the following: a 5 increment synchronized suicide sprint. Then they'll move into 30 synchro alternating pistols, 10-meter handstand walk with a pirouette at halfway each athlete, 10-meter unbroken handstand walk each, 9 snatches at 100 kgs and 70 kgs, and then a 20-meter sprint to the finish. That is going to be an absolutely brutal workout. So I'm going to repeat that. There's 5 increment synchro suicide sprints, 30 synchro alternating pistol squats, 10-meter handstand walk with a pirouette at the halfway each, 10-meter unbroken handstand walk each, and then 9 snatches at 100 kgs for the men, 70 kgs for the ladies, and then a 20-meter sprint to the finish. That will be the final a little bit later today, which is absolutely brutal. And as we look at heat number 4, lane number 1, we got Unboxed Unbroken. In lane number 2, we got Kortkonings. In lane number 3, The Chalking Dead. Lane 4, MCC Awesome Threesome. Lane 5, Octave Fitness. Now remember, Octave Fitness are sitting 5th overall, and they need to do well in this workout now to make sure that they hang on to that 5th spot to make that final a little bit later today. In lane number 6, All Panic No Disco. Lane 7, Fit Life Legends. Lane 8, Triple Unders. Lane 9, Squat Girl Summer. Lane 10, Barbell Brigade. Lane 11, 3Ps in a Wad. Lane 12, Meal Munna. Lane 13, Chalk Dirty to Me. Lane 14, The Chuggernauts. Lane 15, The Wadfathers. Lane 16, Brotatoes. Lane 17, MCC One and Done. Lane 18, Bananas and Pajamas. Lane number 19 is Sassy Lifters, and 23, Grumpy Goats. So, let's keep an eye on the men in the yellow shirts. They are currently leading here, and they are looking to do well to make sure that they make themselves a final here at Fitchella. Remember, they're not just competing here, they are competing against the previous heats as well. So they've got to keep that in mind. Even though they're doing well here, they need to make sure that they are keeping their tempo up and they don't worry about what's happening around them, but rather what's happened on the score sheets on the previous heats. So that is Octave Fitness, our guys in the yellow shirts. There they are there on your screens right now. They are sitting 5th overall, but they've got lots of work to do to make sure that they stay there, as the rest of the teams are here now as well, joining them. And it looks like our first ladies teams here are the usual suspects, which is Fit Life Legends, All Panic No Disco, so at the moment it looks like Octave have about a 10 or 12 rep lead over the rest of the males here. And like I said, they're going to have to really put in an effort here to make sure that they remain in that top 5 position. Let us know in the comments, who are you supporting? Who would you like to see in the final? In the previous heat, we had Jester Cox say, let's go Masi Rise. And then Sarah Price saying, let's go Spice Girls, last push. Suzanne said, go Spice Girls. Communities Wellness Solution says, Masi Rise, go. And then Linda Kruger says, go Bananas, you can do this. And we're keeping a close eye on these athletes. You see a couple of athletes doing the scaled version, so they'll have lighter weights on the bar, as well as they'll be doing renegade rows instead of those pull-ups. And it looks like our men in yellow there, Octave Fitness, they're still hanging on to that 5th overall. They're moving on to those double unders. Will they be able to go unbroken here? Remember, if you slip up on any of the skips, you have to swap out your partner and then you start from 0. So it is going to be pressure situation for Octave. Are they good under pressure? We'll find out shortly. It looks like they are almost there. Waiting for the judge to give them the go, and they are done. They are moving now to the bar for those chest to bar. Remember, they got 45 chest to bars to get through. Looking fairly comfortable there on the bar right now. You can see them there on the bottom right of your corner. Right of your screen. As we look at the rest of the field here, of course, our ladies at the moment still leading the way are Fit Life Legends in lane number 7, and then All Panic, No Disco, all from Fit Life Wellington. As on the right-hand side, you can see Octave there in the yellow shirts. They are your current overall leaders here in this workout, and male leaders. Fit Life Legends, currently the female leaders. Haven't seen any other teams at the moment get to the bar. So at this moment, Octave are looking really, really strong in this heat. But remember, it's not just this heat that they are competing against. They are competing against the previous heats as well. And the heats still to come. There's one more heat after this. And in that heat, we have a couple of teams that are on the verge of a top 5. We have the Silverbacks, we have Village Idiots, Muscle Mixtape, Aladdin's Magic Mats, so a couple of teams there that are knocking on that 5th place spot. So Octave here, they are looking to make sure that they seal the deal with a great time. And I do think that they will finish. And it looks like our Fit Life Legends are the first ladies to the bar. They're busy with their chest to bar at the moment. And the Wadfathers at the moment, I think they are currently in 2nd for the males, but they are well behind Octave at the moment. Just looking at the body language here, they're off camera right now, so you can't see them, but I'm looking at the guys waiting to come in for Octave. And I must say, they are looking very cool, calm, and collected. There's no stress. The guys aren't looking like they tense or anything. Yes, they are on their haunches, and yes, they are leaning over, but that is to be expected. This is a tough workout. This is an easy workout. You got 70 kgs and a lot of stress and load on those shoulders. And the technique there looking good as well. As we look at the screens here, you can see a lot of teams now starting to get to their chest to bar. Some of those athletes cycling really fast on those chest to bar, and that's what you like to see. And on those crossovers now, and he bombs out. He needs to swap out now. This is where it gets a little bit hairy for these athletes. They need to make sure that they get a clean run. They cannot afford to keep changing over, because look how long it's taken now. That's another 10 seconds that has just gone off the clock. And he has to swap out now. They need to make sure that they keep a steady rhythm here. It's another wasted 20 seconds. And there we go. Looks like he's found a rhythm here. As I say that, commentators curse. And now this is where the problem comes in. These athletes need to make sure that they get this. And once again, they got to swap out. I think they just need to get themselves gathered here. As we look at the rest of the field, starting to reel them in now just because of these errors on the crossovers. Remember, it's only a single crossover. This opening up the door for the next heat. They'll be watching this closely to see what they need to do. And once again, another mix-up here. Octave finding themselves in a sticky situation. As Rawson says, Mama Bear for Diamond Dogs. And Octave here in the crossovers here, they are finding themselves in a hard stuck situation. And once again, he needs to change out. The rest of the field are reeling them in. They're not too far behind. Keep an eye on the Wad Fathers. They'll be up next. Look at that. Our ladies have caught up, and they are doing well. 4 minutes left. And Octave here might find themselves outside the top 5. Fitlife needs to swap out. They're not allowed restarting. Oh, I might have missed that. Well, yeah, they need to swap out there. And we have our next male team. They've now joined on the crossovers and they're looking smooth. Not too sure who that is. I'm going to have to count some lanes here quickly. I think it is Milimana. I think so. But now big issues here for Octave as Milimana now overtake them. It's actually chalk dirty to me. They are currently in the lead now. Chalk dirty to me might actually have an opportunity to get themselves into a top 5 position. But Octave have fallen well off the pace now. They were well ahead. And unfortunately, those crossovers costing them big time here. Who's on there, he's going to have to stick it out, but Milimana looks like they're going to take the win here. Five seconds remaining, and Octave there, the last man Rousseau, did all he could to try to keep the hopes alive for that final. But Milimana, they came right through there at the end to take the win in this heat. And we're going to have to see what happens on those standings. If Octave will get themselves into that final. And they might have just sabotaged themselves just a little bit there with not being able to do those crossovers. One more heat to come, and there's some big names there. Don't go anywhere. We'll catch you guys shortly.
Ambition is movement. Your best is found beyond the limits you set for yourself.
One more.
Boundaries are nothing when you unleash on the world what you see in yourself.
All right, we're back here for the final heat of event number 6. Lane number 1, Flexual Healers. Lane number 2, MCC still need a third. Lane number 3, Keeping It Real. Lane number 4, MCC, 3 goals, no muscle ups. Lane number 5, Muscle Mixtape. Lane 6, Yan Yan Yan. Lane 7, Silverbacks. Lane 8, The Village Idiots. Lane 9, lastminute.com. Lane 10, Nokia 3310. Lane 11, Akuruma Squatter. Lane 12, Fit Life Let's Go. Lane 13, Hot Shots. Lane 14, Hout Bay Hammerheads. Lane 15, Swell Mates. Lane 16, Aladdin's Magic Mats. Lane 17, Give It Gas. Lane 18, Southside Fitness. Lane 19, MCC Deadlift Mouse. Lane 20, we have CFA Beefy Boys. And we saw in the previous heats, Octave literally almost giving away 5th position, which would have had them in the final. They still have a small chance. We'll have to see what happens on the leaderboard and with this heat. But when you got teams like Yan, you have Silverbacks, you have the Village Idiots, and then of course you have those men who've been putting up quite a show, Magic Mats. So we'll have to keep an eye out on this one. All right, and off they go. That's our final heat here that everyone will compete in at Fitchella. And then we'll have the finals a little bit later. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course the bell notification button so you know exactly when we go live with that final later on today. And the singles proving not to be too much of an issue for the athletes as they are onto those pull-ups. They got 60 pull-ups, and then next up they got 60 shoulder to overhead. For the males it's 70 kgs, for the ladies 50. And you can see all these athletes looking fairly comfortable on the bar. No issues just yet. There's only a couple of scale teams doing those renegade rows. Remember, you get to choose the workout if you want to do scaled, but not the whole entire event. So if you get to, say, this event number 6 and you're like, okay, I can't actually do pull-ups, I want to do the scaled version, you are, but you've done RX up until now, you'll only forfeit RX points for this particular workout. It's a really cool concept. So it looks like lane number 7, our current leaders. And it is Silverbacks as usual. Then we have Yan. Silverbacks putting in a big set there on that shoulder to overhead. I think it looked like they got 15 there. Massive set. And Silverbacks there with a big set again. They went 16 this time. I definitely counted that one. So they are putting in some massive efforts here on that shoulder to overhead. We clearly have a game plan here to get some big sets out early on. Not too sure how wise that will be, because remember they still got to go 45 and then 30 shoulder to overhead, so it gets quite taxing on those shoulders. And then you've got to remember they got chest to bar and then bar muscle ups, which will also fatigue the rear delts as well as the chest if you're doing butterflies. So interesting technique there. And then we have our ladies teams out there as well. We got Out Bear Hammerheads. It looked like they are currently the leaders here in this one. Then in lane number 3, we got Keeping It Real. Those are our female teams. But the Silverbacks right now, they are slightly in the lead. Got the Village Idiots next to them and Yan Yan Yan, as well as Muscle Mixtape. So everyone in the mixture at this point. You can see there, Silverbacks, they are the only ones on the bar right now. Waiting to see if anyone else will get onto the bar shortly. And another big set. They are clearly wanting those big sets. And the man there, Fit Life, let's go. Lane number 12. And there goes Aladdin's Mats. Magic Mats. They now on the bar. They're currently sitting in third. So right now in first place we have Silverbacks. In second place we have, I've completely lost them, Fit Life, let's go. And then in third place we have Aladdin's Magic Mats. Remember, if they slip up on those skips, they have to start back at 0 and swap out their athlete. So a bit of confusion in the previous heat there on the ladies side of things. So we'll have to keep an eye out on there what that does to the standings for the ladies. We do know though for a fact that our Tri-Fit Titans are currently the number ones, but there's a lot of movement happening in second, third, fourth and fifth. Finkel's hanging on to fifth place right now, so they are trying their best to make sure that they are in that final and that they had a good showing here in the earlier heats, so they possibly still in that final. We'll just have to wait and see. But right now our hammerheads seem to be the female leaders here as they move on to those double unders. And they look like they're struggling a bit there, which is opening up the door for the other ladies out here. Silverbacks want to wrap things up here. They're on those crossovers. And Silverbacks might just find themselves in a final here. Remember, Octave messed up. This opens up the door for these teams to get into that final. Leon Haas says, go Fit Life, let's go, from Bloom. Jorian Barrett says, let's do this, Aladdin's Magic Mats, go, go, go. Vineeth Homan says, go, go, the Village Idiots. So plenty support here in the YouTube comments. Keep it coming. Remember, this is the last event for everyone, and then we have the final later on for the top 5 females and the top 5 males. And on the cusp there are the Finkels as well as Octave Fitness. We'll see, do these leaderboards change with the other heats? And we know Silverbacks are knocking on that door as well, and they are putting up a show right now. They're the only team on the muscle ups right now. Keeping an eye out, and here's another team now on those muscle-ups. They are chasing down the Silverbacks. That is Muscle Mixtape. They've come out of nowhere, actually. They weren't really in the picture, but now they're in the picture. Muscle Mixtape, they are a couple of reps behind Silverbacks right now. Muscle Mixtape also looking to get themselves into a top 5 position. So this is a tight race. Hammerheads now for the ladies. They finally get through their double unders. Chest to bars, they're now on the bars. Yan 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 are in the picture. So those are your top 3 all on the same side of the rig right now. You can see all 3 of them right next to each other. Those are the top 3. We got Silverbacks in first, Muscle Mixtape in second, and Yan 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 in third. Yan 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 are in the pink shorts, those bright pink shorts. Muscle Mixtape in the blue shirts. And then Silverbacks, not really wearing the same kit, but they got kind of like a black shirt. They thought they were done. They're not done. They still got to get through those 30 shoulders to overhead before they're done. Remember, they were putting out big sets. They were doing 15, 16 shoulder to overhead. Will that be the factor that destroys them? Because here comes Muscle Mixtape. They are 4 reps behind, as well as Yan Yan Yan. They are almost done with their bar muscle ups. Silverbacks there. They now not in the lead anymore, but remember, Muscle Mixtape has to change out now. So this will give Silverbacks another chance to get into the lead. They are now back in the lead. Silverbacks are now back in the lead. Muscle Mixtape here. He's going to have to look for a big set if they actually stand a chance here. It might just be a sprint finish. Muscle Mixtape look like they are 4 reps behind, but now look, there has to be another change over here. It's going to come down to these changeovers. How long are those changeovers taking for these athletes? And that was a long change over there for the Silverbacks. They're going to have to put in a few reps here to get back into the lead. And it looks like his tempo is a little bit slower. And he's actually failing there. And they actually won it. There you go. They are through. That change over there was so long though. Silverbacks getting the win there. And a Muscle Mixtape done. They should be done there. And they're heading to the finish. Oh no, they're not. They still got another few reps here. I can't see. The judge isn't putting up his hand, so I'm not too sure how many reps. They are done. And they take second. Looking to see who will take third here. We got Yan Yan Yan. They're in lane 6 there. They are currently the guys who are in third place, and I think they will hold on to it, and yes they do. Yan 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 get a third spot here, and man, those top 3 there are going to cause some chaos in the top 5. Because those were good times. 1 minute remaining here. Our lady teams, we've got the hammerheads out there. Keeping it real. Our 3 girls, no muscle ups in lane 4. I don't think they're going to be doing too much of a shake-up in the top 5. But we obviously want them still to do well here and try almost finish this workout if possible. You can see the hammerheads running out there. They want to try to get some extra reps in. unable to get the weight up. Remember, for the ladies here, it's 50 kgs if you're doing the RX version. Done and dusted. Looks like the Village Idiots also finished up there. But man, what a brutal workout, and that is done and dusted for event number 6. But make sure you turn on those bell notifications. Remember, we still need to upload the final. The final's not in the playlist just yet, so give us a few minutes. We'll set that up for you. Turn on the bell notification and you'll know exactly when we go live with that final. We'll see you guys in about, let's look at the time, about 30 minutes, so don't go anywhere.
Ambition is movement. Your best is found beyond the limits you set for yourself.
One more.
Boundaries are nothing when you unleash on the world what you see in yourself.